All right, guys. So it is time for the third case study. Okay, arguably one of the easier ones. This one. Okay, so hopefully you actually do remember some of the details, but if not, not to worry. That's why you're here to watch this video. So Parsons, Talcott Parsons. Okay, one of the original functionalist thinkers. It's a very easy study to remember. But also very critical. Okay, one of those ones that you pretty much will always mention in the family section of the exam paper. Okay, so let's get into it. So as I say, a key functionalist thinker, Parsons, held the view that the American family performed two basic and irreducible functions. Okay, so two functions of the family. It's worth noting that this word here, okay, it is about the American family. It's one of the criticisms that we're going to make a little bit later on, but it's still worth noting at this point, okay, it's about an American family, not about every family, okay, but two functions that cannot be changed. That's what this irreducible word means. Functions that are fundamental to the family in every single society, okay, he mentions that as well. Okay, the first function that he talks about is primary socialization. Okay, we should hopefully know what this means, but if not, basically means it's the teaching of the norms and values of society to children. Okay, it's what happens when you're born. The first things that get taught to you are done by the family. Okay, before you're old enough to go to school, they're the ones who teach you basically how to behave and how to sort of act like a functioning member of society. Okay, the school does take the reins, but at least at first, primary socialization is the first irreducible function. Okay, and without that, society would be it wouldn't be able to function. Okay, and remember, functionalists are all about how society functions. Okay, so without children acting like normal members of society, won't work. So the second, okay, and arguably the more complicated one, stabilization of the adult personality. Okay, that's the second irreducible function. Okay, he talks about this, talking about how adults need this to function in society. Okay, so we've moved on from the children. Okay, they get their socialization. Now for the adults, what does the family do for adults? Again, he argues that it acts much like a warm bath. Okay, you know how it is when you have a tough day at school. Some of you might do this, some of you might not. But basically, the idea of getting into a warm bath and letting all the stress go. Okay, that's what Parsons argued the family does for adults. Okay, it acts as that stress reliever. Okay, and sort of getting rid of all the stresses so that the next day, once all the stress is gone, you can go and perform well in your job, and that basically leads to the well-functioning society that we live in. Okay, little image here, funky image for you. Okay, so all of these are the stresses that I'm talking about that happen in everyday life. Okay, this one's obviously relevant to you. So children aren't exempt from this. Okay, they get something out of this deal as well. The family helps them deal with things like social anxiety, homework, okay, social media problems in modern day if you want. Worth noting, social media obviously wasn't around in 1959, but trying to sort of modernize this theory for you. Okay, so it acts like a warm bath for people. That's the second function. Okay, but in your exam, do try and refer to it as stabilization of the adult personality. Okay, do try and refer to it like that. So moving on to the evaluation. So there's not many good things really that I can say about this. I mean, to an extent, it makes sense. Okay, that's one good thing about Parsons. Okay, you can really sort of see how most families do perform these functions. Okay, they raise their young. Okay, they teach them the way that you should behave, and they do basically do that. Okay, there's no real denying that, and they also sort of provide stress relief for adults. Okay, that's one positive thing. Okay, but the main thing with functionalist thinkers particularly is that we are able to criticize them. Okay, and as I can see, we are running out of time on this screencaster fight, so I will go into the negatives in the next video.